Alright, in this one, 3 looksmaxxing tips. Number 1, wear high status clothes. So I used to think that this was a cope until I actually saw the studies. For example, in one study, the same man was rated by women in low status clothes, in this case it was a Burger King uniform, versus in high status clothes. In this case it was a tailored business suit. The results were, the clothing had a massive, either positive or negative halo effect. When the man was in high status clothing, the ratings went from unattractive or average to attractive. And when the man was in low status clothing, so fast food uniform, his attractiveness rating was tanked. It was a famous and not recent study, but it was repeated and it was proven to be true. In another study, participants watched videos or interacted with a man wearing a polo shirt. And in some cases, the shirt was completely plain. And in other cases, the shirt had a luxury designer logo. The results were, the man with the luxury logo was rated as higher status, which is not surprising. And also people were 30 to 50% more likely to be compliant towards his requests, simply because of the status quo of the clothing. So people are more compliant towards more attractive people, but also towards people that display higher status, even if it's just a logo of a luxury brand. Some people have this idea that only your facial structure can have a halo effect, but that's completely false according to the data. In reality, things like clothing, physique, hairstyle, health indicators, etc. can have measurable halo effects too. Like I've said many times, I think studies are life fuel. After looking at the data on these subjects, you actually become more optimistic about your potential than black pill channels will make you believe. That was the case with me, and I believe that will be the case for you as well. Because it's simply not true that your bone structure is the only thing that can have halo effect. That's just false. Tip number 2, get regular haircuts. And I know you're probably thinking, no shit, Sherlock, but here's the problem. If you are not neurotypical, this is likely something that you struggle with, even though it seems fairly obvious. Guys who are ND, they often go way too long without having a haircut. And having an unkept haircut actually subconsciously signals to others that you are lazy and unreliable, as well as less intelligent. So this gives you a negative halo effect overall. Meanwhile, having regular haircuts, so having a well-kept hairstyle, where you don't have too much hair on the neck, etc., gives you a positive halo effect, where people think you are more hardworking, more reliable, higher status, more intelligent as well, and it's just a positive halo effect overall. So again, your hair gives you a halo effect too. Not just the hairstyle, but also being well-groomed, being well-kept. You can have a good hairstyle, but if it looks like you haven't had a haircut in months and it looks like you're poor or homeless, it's going to have a negative halo effect. Number 3, get 100% clear skin. Why do I mention that? Because I've seen a lot of people, they are looksmaxxers, they are trying to optimize a bunch of stuff, but they still have acne, even if it's minimal acne. And in case you didn't know, I actually used to be anorexic, I was way too skinny, and I fixed that. Now I have a physique that I like. It's one of the things that actually makes me confident. And it's a good source of confidence because it's something that I can control. When I was brainwashed by black pill channels, my confidence often came from things that are genetic, like my height. And I was the most insecure that I could ever be. That was the most insecure phase of my life. So your confidence should come from stuff that you can actually control. One of them is physique, hairstyle, and skin is another one. Your style as well, surgeries as well, etc. It depends on the person, depends on the case. But not only I used to have a non-ideal physique, I used to also have non-ideal skin. I used to have moderate acne, and I used to have a lot of skin redness. And I fixed that too. And guess which one gave me more confidence? It was fixing my skin. That was probably the thing that I did that increased my confidence the most when it comes to looksmaxxing. And I see some people in the community, they have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 pimples, and maybe they don't think it's a problem because it's only low acne. But personally, I think it is, from personal experience, because even 1 pimple was enough to kill my confidence. So when I had acne, it had phases. Sometimes it would be pretty bad. Other times it would be just 1 or 2. And even then, the impact that it had on my confidence was huge. And because I was used to it, because I was used to having acne all the time, I didn't notice the impact because I was just used to having it. But the second that I fixed it, I realized how much less confident even 1 pimple would make me. So I think even 1 is too much if you want to be confident. If you want to be extremely confident, you should have 0 pimples, and that includes micro acne. That includes those very small pimples as well. If you have 100% clear skin, you're going to feel way, way better about yourself. And also, last point, women are more disgust sensitive than men. So acne does not turn you off as much as it does to them. So keep that in mind. You may think 1 or 2 pimples is fine, but women are going to respond more negatively towards that same input than you probably would. So looking like you have hygiene and are reliable, etc., these things are going to improve your halo effect, they're going to make you more confident, and it's going to improve your situation with women as well. And by the way, if you want to look better, you can join my free school community. I put all of the information for free, so right now there are no paywalls. So if you want to look better, be healthier, improve your confidence and your dating life, then you can join the school community. It's completely free, and it's just a no-brainer. You should absolutely join. So yeah, join the school community, link in a pinned comment, and I'll see you inside.